Hey, everybody. Well, I am so excited to have my friend Chris Heller on the program today. I am not sure there's anybody more qualified to have this conversation than Chris, an extremely successful real estate agent. He built one of the top real estate teams in San Diego County before being asked to take over the helm of Keller Williams as their CEO. He still operates the Heller Real Estate Group with 8 agents and staff doing more than 100 deals a year, while he now serves as the chief real estate officer of Ojo Labs, which I promise you I'm going to have him talk a lot about. This guy is fascinating to me. Not only does he have great taste in women, his wife Nina is an absolute rock star, but this guy just knows how to win, and I suspect he's known for a very long time. He started in the real estate industry more than 20 years ago, and probably not surprising to any of us, he began his career as Rookie of the Year. His career has more wins than I can list here, and I am incredibly grateful that he has agreed to spend a few minutes with us sharing his insight on teams. Please welcome Chris Heller. All right, y'all. Well, welcome back to the program. As I said, welcome Chris Heller. Thank you so much, man. I know you're so busy, so thank you.
Hey, my pleasure. Always happy to help, and I always love talking to you. So, always.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. All right. So I'm going to cut right to it. So this is the topic du jour, if you will, is that we're talking about teams. We've had a lot of people write in, call in, ask, I'm thinking about starting a team. Should I start a team? And so just like, obviously because of your real estate team, but dude, like you were the head guy of one of the largest teams on the planet. What better person to ask these questions, right? So here's the first one. How do I know if I should start a team?
So this is so I feel strongly about this, and I'm not going to say that this is the truth and this is the only way to think about it. That's the way I think about it. So you should start a team when you no longer have the ability to service your clients at the level that they deserve and should be serviced at. So if my business is growing and I find myself not being able to get back to people, not, some of the details are falling through the cracks, some of the things I should be doing aren't getting done, and ultimately it's impacting my relationship with my clients and my clients' ability to do what they want to do, that means that I have more on my plate than I can handle, and I need to leverage myself and bring people on to help me.
That's awesome, because it had nothing to do with money. I'm going to make more money. I'm going to work less. It's all about the most important thing, and that is servicing the client.
Yeah, I'll give you a real life example. End of my first year. Now I didn't have the luxury of anyone like you teaching, training, guiding. This was just pure blood, sweat, and tears, working ungodly hours. I sold 27 homes my first year and got to the end of the year and said, oh my gosh, I want to sell more homes. I want to make more money. There's no way I could work any more or any harder than I did. So I have to figure out what I can not do to just focus on the things that are going to generate the most revenue for me and the most money. And so I hired an assistant back when it was not popular to do that, and said, hey, you're going to handle all the phones, you're going to handle all the files, you're going to, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to focus all my time on generating business and taking care of business.
So I love that. It goes right into my second question, which is, so if I've decided that, yes, I'm in alignment, right? I'm not going to start a team because I think I'm going to work less. I'm probably not going to start a team because I'm going to make so much more money, right? I'm going to start a team because I'm going to service more people and I'm going to give them a better experience. Then what's the first hire? Right?
Yeah.
Am I looking for a buyer's agent? Am I looking for a marketing person, transaction coordination, assistant?
So when we're starting off, and you mentioned something, I want to address it before I lose the thought. It's a really important one. A lot of times people don't hire someone because they say, I can't afford it. If you hire someone and your plan is to work less or to play golf more or to go skiing more or to go to the beach more, that is an expense. The person you bring on is an expense. if you're hiring someone to leverage yourself and to leverage them so that you can do more, it's an investment, and
Boom.
it will return dividends.
Boom.
Now the question is, who's that first hire? That first hire is a really good, a really strong administrative person. Early on, there's no one going to be better than us on working with buyers and sellers. And the thing that we can delegate without impacting our relationship with our clients, without impacting the level of service we provide to our clients, is all the administrative work, marketing, admin, transaction coordination, all of those things. So that's the first hire, absolutely.
That's awesome. All right. So there's a saying that if you don't have an assistant,
you are one.
You are the assistant, right? And we've crunched that every single way. I've sat back and I've helped agents figure out, all right, so here's your hourly rate based on your goal, and would you pay somebody $100 an hour to file paperwork? Well, no. Well, but you are right now, right? So I love that. So we're looking for, hey, here's all the things that somebody can do from an administrative standpoint to make sure that I'm freed up to do more $100+ an hour work.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So how do I hire the right person? And so here's what I mean, right? I'm a self-professed worst hirer of all times. Okay. Like I'm the worst guy. The last guy anybody wants interviewing anybody is me, because I like to work with people I like, right? And by and large, those are other people who are kind of like me, right? Because that's how we gravitate. So how do you go about finding, if it's going to be an administrative person and you're this rainmaker salesperson, how do you go about identifying the right type of person?
Well, first of all, if they have the self-awareness that you have, that you know that you're not good at it, then find someone who is great at it. And I would find someone who's great in admin work or great in the support role, and then have them do the interviewing for you.
Oh, that's brilliant.
The other thing is, and you sort of touched on it, more times than not, and this is not a universal truth, but it's true often enough that we need to pay attention to. We want to hire someone who's not like us, but who's complementary to us. So if I'm a great salesperson, and I'm great with clients, I'm great at my lead generation, my lead follow-up, and I can do files and I can do admin work, but it's not what I'm the best at, and it's certainly not the best and highest use of my time. I want to find someone who likes that, who excels at that, who is detail oriented, and that's a compliment to who I am, not someone who is just like who I am.
Yeah. All right, so everybody, you can hear the background noise. He's in a construction zone, so just FYI, it's not some wacky deal. But listen, this is a good opportunity for us to sort of take a quick little break. So two things I want to make sure. Number one, if somebody wanted to reach out to you, refer your team business in San Diego County, or maybe reach out and just say, hey, I have a specific question about something, how would they get a hold of you?
Hey, easiest way is to email me, and for that email address, it's chris@hellerthehomeseller.com. chris@hellerthehomeseller.com.
I love that. I love that. Heller the home seller, baby. All right. And obviously you're on Facebook and Instagram and all those kinds of things. Talk to us about what you're currently doing. So talk to me about Ojo.
Sure. So as you said, Todd, my team in San Diego is still going strong and selling lots of houses. I'm sitting right now in our new office. We've been in here for about 2 weeks, the Ojo Labs office, and that is construction below us and next to us and above us. That's happening. Sounds like
progress, baby. It's progress and growth.
Progress, yeah. And Ojo Labs is a startup. Well, I guess we're still considered a startup here in Austin, Texas. We are developing technology and human intelligence, so artificial and human intelligence, to aid consumers in making great or better decisions. So specifically in the real estate world, being able to have consumers be able to interact with Ojo and ask questions so that they can get good answers to be able to make good decisions when that consumer is ready or in the need of the services of an agent or a loan officer, then connecting them with a great agent or a great loan officer to help them at that stage of their home buying or selling process.
That's fantastic. So you are quite literally living out building a team right now.
Yeah, yes, we are, and it's a great team and a super talented team, and we're going to be doing, and we are doing some exciting things, and more to be announced with your organization, Cole Banker and Realogy. So
Yeah, awesome. Can't wait. Good. All right, so back at it here. So one, do you have like any quick and dirty go-to plays on duties? Like, so one of the struggles that many people have is, all right, so what do I have this person do?
yeah, so I think here's the simplest way that I've always looked at it is, what are the things I should be doing, and that person should be doing everything else.
Everything else, yeah.
So what should I be doing? If we're focused on revenue generating activities, that is lead generation, lead follow-up, presentations, negotiations, initially probably showing properties. Those are revenue generating activities. Everything else, from handling the phones to handling email, marketing, transactions,
Calendar, email, yeah,
all those things. That's, you want a person who's a great support person, who's again detail oriented, that you can develop a really good relationship by delegating, and this is someone who's going to communicate well with you, to know that when things get delegated, they get handled, and that's communicated. That communication loop is complete.
Right. So it's interesting. I want everybody to really hear. He didn't say offload all the things you're not good at. He said offload the things that aren't money making activities, and I see this happen as much from a standpoint of I don't want to offload something that I really enjoy doing, right? As trying to offload stuff that I should be doing, I'm just no good at, right? So give an example. It's your job to know your numbers, right? You can't offload reviewing your P&Ls. I get it. You may not like it. You may not be very good at it right now, but by offloading a lot of the distraction that doesn't require you, you will get good at it. And you will, the more you look at a P&L, the more you'll see what you need to see and ask the questions that you need to ask.
Yeah, and along those lines too, a lot of times agents don't offload things they should because they enjoy it or they are good at it. I may be great at writing MLS descriptions of property,
right?
But is that the best and highest use of my time?
Right.
Is that something that I can teach and train someone to do? Yeah, and I'm going to delegate. They're going to do it. I'm going to say, I'm going to redo it. I'm going to correct them, coach them, and pretty soon, they're going to be speaking and writing and communicating, using my words, because I've taught them how to do that.
Yeah, brilliant. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so I'm a solopreneur. I'm an individual real estate agent. I have now just decided I'm going to be a boss. Oh boy, right? Like, how do I manage people? What am I paying attention to?
So, I like to think of it as leadership, and sometimes it's our first foray into being a leader, and that is leading by example. We can't, just like with our kids, we can't the do what I say, not as I do. Just
does not work. That is not a strategy.
No, not one that will yield the results we want to yield. And we have to communicate. We now went from, I don't have to answer to anyone, I don't have to explain myself to anyone, to now we need to communicate, and we need to train, and we need to set that person up to win and provide an environment that they can win in. So it's the communication is another big piece of it. Another piece is being okay with 90%. And what I mean by that, there's certain things that we do in a transaction that have to be 100% right. There's other things that if it's 90% the way that we like to do it, or 90% the way we usually do it, it's still okay. It doesn't have to be 100%. And that's what causes a lot of agents to not want to let go of certain things. They say, well, it's not going to be exactly like I want it or exactly how I do it. It probably doesn't need to be exactly. If it's 90% of the way there, you're still going to be fine. And so being okay with delegating that way. There's a great book, and this is another thing I'd recommend. It's an absolute must read for the person you're hiring, but it's equally valuable to you as the person that they're going to be working for and serving. It's a little book called Managing Up, and it was written by a top executive assistant to a CEO. And every admin person I've ever hired, I've given them that book to read, and it's also one that we should read too, because it really helps in setting the stage for what that relationship should look like, and what a healthy and productive relationship, between an assistant and the person that they're serving looks and sounds like.
I'm writing it down right now. That's awesome. Managing Up. So to the perfectionist, I think you all heard him. Yeah, like, hey, listen, the way you always did it is what got you to where you are today. You're going to have to do things slightly different. So, and by the way, do not be shocked when you come to realize that the way you did it was actually not the best way, and that your assistant has just increased the level of output, service, experience, whatever that your clients are now receiving.
Yeah, and actually, that's a great expectation just to go in with. Because my goal is to have someone who's as good or better than me in the things that they're going to be doing.
Yeah. All right, Managing Up. It's in there. All right, perfect. Okay, so so we've talked through the other interviews that we've done with other top team leaders, right? I've heard, it's you got to manage by the numbers. I've heard you've got to, manage with. I want to say micromanagement, but it's not micromanagement. It's an expectation that it's all on my shoulders. And so if I need to micromanage for a while, I'm going to micromanage for a while. You touched on it a little bit, that I'm going to lead by example. That's that model where I'm going to go for an appointment. We'll just use an appointment. I'm going to go to the appointment and you're going to watch me do it. And then we're going to go on appointment together and I'm going to watch you do it. And then you're going to go on appointment by yourself and you're going to do it. And then I'm going to give you somebody else and you're going to take them on an appointment and they're going to watch you do it. And so it's the teacher and the student kind of deal. The one piece that I've heard over and over and over was that until the leader had to really have a mindset shift to go from a solopreneur or real estate agent to a manager / leader / whatever, nothing worked. Walk me through, how would you answer that question? What kind of mindset shift do I need to have in order to become that person? And where would I go and find that?
Yeah, I think so there's a lot of things. One is just, changing our language. You have to mentally go from the I or the me to the us to the we. And that's more than just the use of different words. It's really that thinking, and it's really that team approach, right? So it's win as a team, lose as a team. It's not we're all responsible, and that, I think, as much as a mindset as it is anything else.
Yeah.
The other things that I would say is we really want to, as best we can, put ourselves in the shoes of the other person. And, that sounds like common sense. It sounds like everything we understand. But, not just because we know something at a certain level, because we've always done it, to have the expectation that they always know what we're talking about, that they always know what we expect, that they always know how to do it, is just unreal. And so we have to really remember that, hey, this is someone who's new that I'm responsible for. I'm responsible for their success. And I'm responsible for teaching and training and setting them up to win. How have I done that? I can't tell you how many times, and Todd, I'm sure you've heard this too, where someone goes, oh, I hired the wrong person, or I have to get rid of this person. And the first thing that goes through my mind is, how do we know for sure? Have we trained them at the level that they need to be trained? Have we set expectations at the level of expectations need to be set? Have we held them accountable at the level we should hold them accountable? Now, if we've done all those things and it actually is a capacity issue or a capability issue, then it's okay to say, yeah, we need to make a change. But if we can't look ourselves in the mirror and say, okay, have I done everything that I should be doing to train, support, communicate, set expectations, hold accountable at the highest level possible, then I gotta say, okay, maybe I haven't done the right job here.
Yeah, right. And it goes back to that do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. So kind of making that a little bit bigger. And I know you and I are cut from the same cloth on this one because we've had this discussion. But in order to be a great leader, you must be great in other areas of your life, right? You can't show up in a a disaligned state or unaligned state in your health and vitality example and be a great leader. You can't, be in some massive fight with your spouse and be able to show up and be a great leader. And the people that are quote unquote to follow you are looking for leadership. So you've got to be unapologetic and you got to recognize you're going to make some mistakes, but you've got to make decisions. You got to act on those decisions, and you've got to continue to level people up. You can only do that if you're leveling yourself up. And it's a natural progression, right? The more I level somebody up, they either get through the uncomfortable space or they level themselves out, right?
Yeah, I absolutely agree 100%. And I think there's another piece to it also that we haven't touched on yet, and that is, so we talked about, hiring someone who's complementary, hiring someone that's good at the things that we aren't going to do or we shouldn't be doing, but it's also hiring someone that's very talented. And when we have a talented person, and the comment you just made me think of this, a talented person will lift you up. They will push you. A not so talented person is someone you're going to have to pull along, and you're pushing them. A talented person will push you. They will make you feel uncomfortable because they will get you out of your comfort zone. But that's what we want.
That's actually, I love that, because it is, oftentimes we approach it differently, right? We're like, okay, well, we're the talented person and we're going to hire somebody that's going to make us more talented. What you're saying is, no. Hire somebody that's really talented.
Yeah. And don't be afraid of that and don't be insecure about that. Look I've always viewed someone's ability to lead is measured a lot of different ways, but one of the ways it's measured is by the people they surround themselves with. And the great leaders always have the best people around them.
Yeah.
And we see that in business, we see that in sports, we see that there's examples of that everywhere.
Yeah. If you're the smartest person in the room about the topic that you're meeting about, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think it was Jack Welch that talked about, like, if it was this business and he was meeting with somebody and he was the smartest person in the room on that business, he had the wrong person in the room because he just wanted to be the leader. I think that's brilliant. Love that. All right. Hire talent, folks. Did you hear that?
You brought up, so hire talent. You brought up Jack Welch. So the author of that book I mentioned earlier was his executive assistant for many, many years.
Perfect. See there, we're all aligned anyway already. All right. So listen, man, here's another question I get all the time. When should I stop selling?
I mean, the first answer that comes to my mind is never. And look at, if you have a goal to develop your business and your team to the level that you can just become a coach and a leader, then you can step out. But until you have the right systems, the right processes, the right talent around you to where you can then just become that leader / coach and the business continue to grow, then you're going to keep selling. Once you have the systems, the processes, the culture, the right people, and that you have people that can do all aspects of what we do as an agent as good or better, then it's fine to step out and just solely be a leader if that's your goal.
I just want to make sure everybody heard what he just said. He did not, it's more powerful what he didn't say. What he did not say was that oh, you have to get out of production so that you can build the right processes and develop the right people and deliver the experience. That's not what he said. What he said was, until you have them built. So you are building your processes and your product and your experience as you go. Once you get to a place where you're there and all you need to do is coach and train others and lead others to that, that's the point that you make the change. Yes?
Yep, absolutely.
Love that. All right. So, man, listen, we talk a lot about the failure rate, right? So 90+% of the agents won't make it 3 years. If you look at all small businesses in the US, about 28 million or so, 85% of them, for all intents and purposes, are failures because they don't make any money. All right. Why? Why are so many of these teams failing?
Yeah, again, and I apologize for the noise. I know it doesn't bother me, but probably
You're good. You're all good.
So there's a lot of reasons why they fail. One is that they don't treat it like a business. They treat it like a hobby, and they don't have a plan, and they probably don't have a goal, which is why they don't have a plan. Right. So if we have a goal and now we have a plan, and then we're going to approach it like we would any other job or business, our chances of success versus coming in every day with no plan, with no, knowing there's some things we need to do, but not having a systematic approach to making sure they get done. Over time, we're just not going to achieve, and nor will it be, when we're not succeeding and winning on a regular basis, it's a lot less fun. And at some point we go, this isn't working. I can't do this. I don't understand it. I don't like it. And then we go do something else. If we approach it and we say, okay, here's my goal. Here's what I'm going to do. And here's what I need to do on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis to achieve the goal. And then we just focus every day on following that plan. It's amazing. Now that sounds like a simple concept, and everyone can understand what I just said. Very few agents will actually do that, but the ones that do will accomplish more in less time than the ones that don't.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, again, goes back to a mindset and developing the discipline to do that. But the more disciplined we can be with how we operate and how we work, the more we're going to achieve. And I think that whole concept messes with a lot of agents' minds because they view discipline as a negative thing, right? As kids, discipline definitely has a negative connotation, right?
Yeah, right.
As we grow up, what we find is the more disciplined we are in different areas of our lives, the faster we grow in those areas, right? The more disciplined we are with our health, the better health we have. The more disciplined we are with our money, the more money we have. The more disciplined we are with our time, the more time we have. And most agents don't operate that way.
Yeah, they see freedom for the front side of freedom and flexibility versus freedom being, as Ali said, right? Pay now, suffer now, so that you can have all the stuff that nobody else gets later.
Yeah.
All right, so I think you just probably answered the question. But if you had to give somebody one or two very specific pieces of advice that do these things if you're going to create a team that succeeds, of course, what would it be?
Yeah, I think so everything that you and I have talked about so far, and we have to master bringing in and converting business, because until we're doing that, there's no need for, you don't have enough business for someone to help you with. So our lead generation, our lead follow-up, our lead conversion, our presentation skills, our objection handling skills, we have to master those or work on those on a daily basis to get them to the level to where now we're generating more business and more business than we can handle. So we now need to be, delegating our buyers to a showing agent. We need to be delegating our admin work to a great admin assistant. And then we can do even more by just focusing on those skills that we've developed.
Brilliant. So again, going back, what I heard you say is, number one, you have to have lead sources. They've got to be good, consistent, repeatable lead sources. You've got to have a process in place that's the Heller way, if you will, right? To respond to those leads, to nurture those leads, to convert those leads, to present to those leads, to transact with those leads. That's a process that's already built out. You haven't even built a team yet. You've got the Heller way. That's my process. I have to do that first.
Yeah. Yeah. And what will happen is, as you do that, you'll start to have success, and you'll start to have more listings, more sellers to take care of, more sellers that turn into buyers. Your listings will attract more buyers, and all of a sudden you'll be going, wow, I need help. I have too much going on, which is a great situation to be in.
High class problem, as they say. All right, man. Well, hey, listen, again, I appreciate you so much. It's been a while since we talked, and it was good to catch up with you and tell your lovely wife we said hello. And again, thank you so much for your wisdom. I'm not sure that I have anybody that's more qualified to have this conversation than you. And I know you're super busy, and I appreciate you carving out the time for us.
Hey, anytime. Happy to help, and honored that you were asking me to chip in. So thank you.
All right, so one last plug here, right? Ojo Labs, number one, be on the lookout. Some really creative, cool things happening. And then, of course, San Diego County Real Estate. It's, again, Chris at
hellerthehomeseller.com.
Chris at hellerthehomeseller.com. If you guys have any referrals you want to send his way, I'm sure he would love paying you a referral fee.
And take great care of them.
There you go, even better. All right, man, thanks again. I really appreciate you.